Are you having problems with one of those unknown devices or a device without drivers showing up in the device manager with your Windows 7 computer? Hi, my name is Evan. I'm from the Micro Center Tech Support Department, and today we're going to take a look at how to identify and install the drivers for those devices. In this first video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the part 1, which is how to identify the unknown device in the device manager.
Okay, so let's take a look at how to identify an unknown device that's showing up in the device manager in Windows 7. To begin, let's start by clicking on the Start button in the bottom left corner of the screen. Once that opens up, you'll see Computer on the right side. Go ahead and right-click on Computer, and then choose Properties down at the bottom. Once that opens up, go ahead and click on Device Manager in the top left. It may prompt you to allow or grant permission at that point in time. Just go ahead and choose the Allow option in the affirmative. On the next screen, you should see Other Devices and then Unknown Device with the yellow exclamation mark on it. This may or may not be exactly the same. There may be, in some cases, devices that will be recognized by their specific class, such as a video device or audio device or interface device, and they may be in that specific section as well if that does show up. So once you've located the device you're looking for, go ahead and right-click on that device and then choose Properties down at the bottom. Once this window opens up, go ahead and go to the Details tab up across the top. On the Details section, it should say Unknown Device or the name of the device, and then under Property, choose the drop-down box and go to Hardware IDs. On the first and or second rows here, you should see some information here starting with the USB or however it is connected. On the second section, it will either say VID for Vendor ID or VEN for Vendor, then an underscore, and then the number that does indicate the vendor. The ampersand here separates between the vendor and the PID or the DEV, which would stand for Product ID or Device, and then another underscore and the number itself. So you're going to want to write down first this information here, that's the vendor and the vendor information to identify who made the device, and then the PID or DEV for the device identification number itself. So once you have that information written down as it appears on your computer, you can go ahead and hit OK, close out of this window. And then we'll go ahead and open up an internet window, then type in www.pcidatabase.com and then press enter. Once this shows up, you'll see vendor search and device search. Under the vendor search section, you're going to want to enter the numbers that show up after the underscore, after the VID or VEN. In this case, it's 1002, and then go ahead and hit search. Once this screen is pulled up, you can see the information about the manufacturer. In the top right, under Search Devices, go and enter the 4 numbers and letters that show up after the DEV or PID, after the underscore. In this case, we're going to put in 9442, and then click on Search Devices. You can see here there are 2 that came up. The one we could verify by the manufacturer is the ATI or AMD. You can see it is an ATI Radeon 4800 series card. So once you have this information, you've now located the manufacturer and model for the device you're trying to install. For information on locating the drivers, check out our second video in this series on locating and installing the drivers for an unknown device in the device manager.